Welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
I'm excited. I'm Brian.
Brian is excited because we are in the presence of beer royalty today.
Yeah, greatness.
Thanks to our friend Logan, who dropped off 4 of these
at
our office. We are going to drink Heady Topper by the Alchemist out of Vermont.
Oh, man. I cannot wait for this.
This is one of the... You got some text messages?
People are hitting me up on Untapped.
Oh, they're excited about
They know what's going on, I think.
Oh, there we go. They should be excited. I am excited. I have only heard about this beer. This is like urban legend almost.
Yeah, it is. It's like a ghost story.
Yep. Like, have you ever had Heady Topper? No. So I did see that Alabama Boss, you know who this guy is?
Yeah.
He drank Heady Topper, didn't like it.
Well, he's wrong.
We'll find out. I don't know. He drank a lot of beers that he didn't like. That I thought, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I know about that guy, he's probably more at home noodling catfish or
Absolutely.
something than drinking hazy IPAs.
If you don't know that guy, he drank a bunch of beers on camera. He does a bunch of other stuff too.
Yeah.
YouTube kind of guy. Drank a bunch of beers on camera. Hilarious. He's funny. So, all right. So we're gonna get into this. We're gonna pour this one now. Heady Topper from the Alchemist in Vermont.
Oh man, that looks good,
doesn't it? It's dang.
So apparently, we've been in the last few episodes, we've been talking about Untapped quite a bit.
We have.
And apparently I have a bunch of degenerate friends because I am getting cheersed on Untapped right now like crazy for some of the other beers that we've been doing. So It's all happening. Everybody's looking at Untapped at 11:40.
If you'd like to be on, if you drink a lot of beers,
yeah.
Like if this is something that you listen to this and then you maybe go and you try some different stuff, get on there, find us.
Find us for sure.
Yeah, request us on there. We'll become friends. It's a lot of fun.
It's a social network, just like a Facebook sort of situation, but it's for beer.
Yes.
And you can take pictures. You get like badges. They have a store.
Yes.
Which I have some stuff from. I have a shirt. I have some coasters in my bar downstairs from Untapped.
Oh, interesting.
It's just a really cool thing. It definitely is like, I always tell people that haven't got it yet on their phone, it's like adult baseball cards.
Absolutely.
Because you're trying to collect as many things as you can, try all these different styles of beer you might not. There's incentives. They have like discounts and coupons. Yep. One of the fun things about it is some bars have it as like their point of sale. They have basically it's tied up to their register or whatever, and they have these TVs. You'll see them in the bar. You check in at the bar. Cross Train has this, and you'll see your picture from Untapped on there, and talking about the beer you're drinking and that sort of stuff. So it's kind of a fun thing to do when you're with your friends.
There's one of my favorite places in Estes Park, Colorado, is a little burger place called Wapiti.
Wapiti?
Wapiti. My wife calls it Wapiti.
They ever correct her?
It's all the time. She still calls it that. It's Wapiti.
All right.
Great burgers. It's around the edge of downtown. Always good local beer selections.
Yeah.
Like super local Estes Park beers and then other Colorado beers too.
What's that pizza place that's down there?
Antonio's?
I think it starts with a P. Is there another one? No, I'm not thinking Dante's. But
there's a Bob and Tony's. Bob and Tony's is that's where the tourists go. I don't like to go there.
I think there's one that's right on there's like a creek. Does that make sense? There's like a Mexican restaurant.
Yes.
And then there's a pizza place right.
Oh, Poppy's.
That one.
Poppy's.
I've been there.
Okay, Poppy's that's different because there's legit beer nerd guy that works there. So I had Melvin there before I had it anyplace else.
Oh, okay.
I had Russian River there.
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever had a Pliny the Elder.
Yes.
Yeah.
On tap, Pliny the Elder now because of some of the laws in Colorado. Some of the distribution rights have changed in Colorado, so they can't get Russian River there anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but you get really obscure beers on their beer list. Poppy's, and it's pretty good pizza too.
Yeah, I really like that place.
It's really good pizza.
I went there when I was just beginning this beer quest. 7-8 years ago, I went there and had some amazing beers. So. That perked my ears up when you're talking about that.
So at Wapiti, I always make sure I untap because then the TVs are super close to you, And my picture on Untapped is me and my son making these goofy faces. And so I made like these super serious faces.
Right.
Kind of one of those pictures you take.
Yeah.
But I did it in black and white, kind of like a film noir kind of looking thing. And so we like to see our picture up on the TV there.
For sure.
Yeah.
I had one for a long time. My main picture was me at Beercade. They have this old, I don't know what the term is now. It blanked me, but it was an old way of building. So it's not drywall, but it was like lathe and something, plaster.
Okay.
So it's got all these wooden slats in the ceiling behind my head, so it looked really cool. And I was like, oh, this is so artsy. And I took it at a beer festival that they had, and then I had that for like a year. And then I just changed it recently the other day when Miss Vance brought us in those natty, whatever those were called.
Natter Days.
The Natter Days, like strawberry lemonade natural light. So my Untapped picture now is me holding that up next to my face, like with a smile. So
you lost some friends on Untapped.
Well, I don't know, or maybe I made a few.
Maybe.
Depends. But
all right, we got to drink this beer.
We got to.
All right, so Heady Topper from the Alchemist.
Man, that smells amazing.
You can't get this here. You can't even get close to this.
No.
Here in Omaha. So the fact that it's here.
Yep.
Oh, it smells so piney.
Man, that's good. So you're talking about how it's not around here?
Not.
It's 25 miles from the brewery. That's the distribution of this beer.
In Vermont.
In
Waterbury and Stowe, Vermont.
So ain't nobody getting this beer except on purpose.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a huge, I don't know if it's a huge, but there's a definite black market for this beer and beers like it. This is the beer that some people credit with starting the New England IPA style and series. This has a little bit more hop than what we're used to now with the technical hazy IPA that we've come to love. But some people trace that origin to here, to this beer right here,
to this one right here.
This is the granddaddy. So it's hoppier.
It definitely is,
but
not in a bad way.
No, this is close to what IPAs were 10 years ago.
Okay.
When you would drink
them, non-malty, the non-West Coast IPA.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not malty, hoppy, not overly, not bitter, not too bitter. I mean, this is bitter, more bitter than some for sure. Who's blowing you up now?
My phone all the time. It's just all the time. So yeah, all the time.
I thought it was somebody trying to get a little bit of this beer.
Some of the Heady Topper. If Steve Seitner knew we were drinking this right now, he would be sitting in Dolan's chair.
That, or he'd just be, his face would be pressed against the glass like a monkey exhibit at the zoo.
Absolutely.
He would want in on this one for sure. So we got him a can though.
We did get him one of the cans. Yes.
I felt the day this came in. Here's a little backstory. We all know Logan. We've known him for years, right? And I knew him. I think he told me this 4 or 5 years ago. He had a connection in Vermont, and he was always trying to get this. And there's another one that's called like Sip of Sunshine. That's another like random cannot get IPA.
Yep.
And he had a contact, a hospital contact, a connection. He's like, I'm gonna get this beer. I'm gonna get this beer. I'm gonna, because he knew I was a beer nerd, right? Never happened. Never, didn't see him.
Never.
He was gone. I didn't see him anymore. He's out of my life. Random phone call the other day. Was transferred in from our taco champ, Joe.
Yes.
He sends me the phone call, and I answer it, and I say, is this a prank call? I said, I've had one phone call since I've worked here, and it was Logan. He had patched him through, it was a cold referral.
What?
So he was like, hey, this is Logan. And I was like, oh, man, I'm so sorry. But I'm glad it was you and not somebody else, It's like, that literally was the first time I've answered my phone here.
Yeah.
And he was like, I got some Heady Topper. Are you at work? And I was like, heck yeah, I'm at work.
Yes.
Because you were gone.
Yeah.
Seitner was gone. Mr. Steve Ryan was gone. And those were the three people he said besides me that were going to get one of these beers. And I was like, well, good for me.
Yeah.
So he came and dropped it off. And I was like jumping out of my shoes. I was so excited.
Yeah.
I took it home with me because I was like, I am not leaving it here for the wolves.
No.
Someone might accidentally, quote fingers, drink this beer. No way.
That's happened.
For sure it has.
Even though
I knew that.
We have the secret beer fridge. It's not so secret. and it's definitely not locked.
Well, and I can't get into it, so I knew I don't have access, so that was not happening. But also, I didn't trust anybody, so I took it home.
Yes,
and I took a photograph of this beer, the 4-pack, and you know that I sent that to like 15 of my contacts on my phone. I tweeted it out. I was like, "Look what I have."
Suck it.
And people were like, "Oh my god!" I didn't tell them that they weren't all mine.
Right.
I'm not gonna do that.
They wanted to like buy, trade.
Oh yeah, they were like. I mean, I got 3 kids. I'll give you one.
Right.
Just for one can. I was like, I already got one kid. I don't need another
No,
one. So,
no.
I'm just happy to have this. Long story long, that I'm excited for this.
For the record, a child for one of these would be a fair trade.
Depends on how old the child is, but yes.
Okay, you're right. And
Past the potty train stage, for sure.
For sure.
Yes.
Not that I would condone child trading in any form.
No.
No, please don't do that.
Indentured servitude, no.
No.
I could see how it's maybe useful on a farm or something.
Sure.
Or to just get you another one of these out of the fridge. That would be maybe a reason to do it.
I have trained my son to, much to the chagrin of my wife. I'll say, Maddox, go get me. Depends on, it really depends. Yeah. He knows, so he knows Coors Light.
Right.
Because that's my go-to. That's my go-to, just kind of anytime beer. He knows Cross Strain. He knows, now which one, he knows that too. He knows Hop Streaker. He knows Fairy Nectar. He knows Double Dry Hop London because it's missing teeth. That's how he knows.
Kids are smart, man.
He's a smart dude.
Yeah. That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
And that way you get a nice cold beer and you don't have to get up.
Look, I'm not a great parent, but I got a little skill.
Hey, you're teaching them stuff. There's some reading involved. There's like selecting. There's marketing stuff involved.
Yep.
These are life lessons that cannot hurt a child, I don't think.
Right. So this is super interesting. We'll do a little bit my research here on where the Alchemist is located. It's funny that you say it's only available in a 25-mile radius because one of the very large pieces of content on their website, or one like front and center as you log on to their website, it says, "Please note, we do not, N-O-T in capital letters, sell our beer online. It is illegal for us to ship beer directly to customers." Illegal.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah,
they say it right
great.
up front because I'm sure they get calls like, "Hey, you guys ship your beer to Missouri?"
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, probably.
Because that's how people in Missouri sound.
That's true. Man.
Did you get that right
I'm
there?
a Royals fan, too. That hurts.
Well, okay. So how about that Eastern Missouri?
Yeah. Cardinals territory. You're trying to get to the Cardinals.
You see where that goes?
Oh, my gosh. I should have saw that at the beginning.
You ship that here?
I can barely reach the telephone and make the phone call.
All we got's the Budweiser.
We love the Cardinals here. Oh, my goodness. I should have just known that.
Paul Goldschmidt is the second coming.
Of Jack Clark.
Of Jack Clark.
I was going to go Pujols, but he was a great player.
God, Jack Clark. Okay, so we got to get into the beer a little bit, but do you know, so Jack Clark is the reason why when a catcher goes to the mound, the pitcher covers his mouth with his glove, because Greg Maddux figured out that Jack Clark could read lips.
Really?
And Jack Clark could read lips, could figure out what he was saying to Joe Girardi back in the day. Nope, Damon Berryhill. Damon Berryhill was Greg Maddox's catcher for the Cubs when Jack Clark was a Giant, I believe, and Greg Maddux figured out that Jack Clark could read lips. So Greg Maddux was the first one to cover his mouth.
To do that, to talk into the glove?
Yeah, because of Jack Clark. There you go.
Good for Jack Clark.
There you go. Baseball history.
You got to take any advantage you can.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so the Alchemist is 2 locations in Waterbury, Vermont, and Stowe, Vermont. Waterbury is just south of Stowe, near Montpelier. Stowe is located north of Montpelier and east of Burlington. So if you're familiar with Vermont, kind of that northern-ish part of the state, 2.5 hours south of Montreal. That's how close to the border they are.
Holy cow! I didn't realize that.
Way up there. So super close to the U.S.-Canada border. Brewery in Stowe is located at 100 College Club Road. Stop by. This is right off their website. Stop by for a taster, take a beer home, or some swag. We are dog and family friendly, but please keep them on a leash. I thought that was kind of funny. Dolan thought that was funny too. Look, here it goes.
Are you supposed to keep your family on a leash?
Well, I know it says dog and family friendly.
It doesn't specify, does it?
It didn't.
Nope, it doesn't.
Well,
you got to read between the lines, man.
I know how my kid acts at a brewery sometimes. He gets a couple sarsaparillas and he gets that sugar high. And
Yeah, good luck getting him in the car.
Right. You play a couple games of Sorry or Candyland, and man, he's done for the day.
He's off the rails.
Absolutely. Monday through Sunday, 11 to 7. Monday through Saturday, 11 to 7. Sunday, 10 to 4. This is funny. This is the first time I've ever seen this. Parking. Our parking lot opens at 10 a.m. Please do not arrive before that time.
You know why that is?
Because it's so in demand.
Yeah, I think this. I'm 90% sure this is the brewery, but they have an assortment of like an amount that they put out every day that they'll sell cans for, and people line up 2 hours in advance to go and buy their beer and then walk back out. And it might not be this place, but it's definitely some breweries up in that Northeast that make these IPAs.
So, good friend of the show, Mike Combs, has been to the Sip of Sunshine, that brewery. And I can't remember, is that...
Yeah. It's not Trillium, I know that.
Treehouse.
Okay.
I believe it's Treehouse.
Okay.
Brought some back. Sip of Sunshine is just as good as this.
Yeah.
It is one of the better IPAs I've ever had.
Man, I've never had it either. I've never even held one. I never held a can of this until today.
He might have some in his fridge. Maybe still one. I don't know. So the Alchemist is a family-run brewery specializing in fresh, unfiltered IPAs. John and Jen Kimmich originally opened the Alchemist as a 60-seat brew pub in the village of Waterbury in 2003. After 8 years of success and growing popularity, they decided to open a small production brewery. Today, the Alchemist is currently operated in 2 breweries in Vermont, both at Stowe and Waterbury, and there's 2 regions. And distributes Heady Topper and Focal Banger.
That's another one of theirs I've heard of, yeah.
Focal Banger.
Can is very similar. It's a gray can with a black and white logo.
Interesting.
Can we read the back of that can, Rich? It's I'm seeing it from where I'm sitting at, and it's super funny.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so the back of the can. Heady Topper is an American double India Pale Ale. This beer is not intended to be the biggest or most bitter. It is meant to give you wave after wave of hoppy goodness on your palate. Tremendous amounts of American hops will creep up on you and leave you with a dense hoppy finish in your mouth. So drinkable, it's scary.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I could crawl right in the can. Freshness and control have always been my main concern when it comes to our beer. We are committed to providing you with an unfiltered and unpasteurized hop experience. Why do I recommend that you drink it from the can?
Yeah, it says it right on the top, man.
Unfortunately, we're not doing.
Oh, we're breaking the rules.
Okay. The act of pouring it in a glass smells nice, but it releases the essential hop aromas that we have worked so hard to retain. If you must pour it in a glass, you may find that some of the hop resins have settled to the bottom. Leave them in the can when pouring. This beer is perishable and at its best when it's young, fresh, and hazy. Keep it cold, but not ice cold. Drink this beer immediately. We are always making more.
Read the part about the recycling.
Oh, yeah. Don't be a D-bag. Recycle this can. These guys are awesome.
Oh, that was good. Don't be a D-bag.
Don't be a D-bag.
We will recycle the can.
Recycle this can. We'll recycle it.
So here's the thing about these guys. Obviously, they're making one of the most in-demand beers in the country.
Yes.
And they're still mom and pop.
Love it.
Like, they could go big. They could sell it all, and they haven't. And I think that's awesome.
That is awesome.
It's a bummer that we can't get this all the time, but it also makes this beer in this little glass that much more special. And I'm down for special occasions.
So, not that we talk about them on every single beer podcast that we do, but in some ways, don't you want this to be Fairy Nectar someday? Don't you want this to be like cross strains? Like, as much as I want as many people to try Fairy Nectar as possible, because it is such a great IPA.
Yeah.
I kind of want it to be this legendary. Like someone in Alabama, for example, is like, hey, have you ever tried Fairy Nectar? No, I've only heard of it.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
It's cool. They're already past that stage, though, size-wise. So, like, that can't happen. I'm going to save a little bit for Dolan.
Okay. I did not, but I guess
did.
There's
a little bit left. He's going to get just a little tongue tickle.
There you go.
I'm going to get it straight from the can.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
Look
he
at
tricked
him.
us.
That son of a bitch.
He tricked us. He read the whole thing. He knew what was up. He tricked us.
Yep. Well, he's younger than us and smarter in some ways.
Those are two things, yeah.
Is there some left in there? Did I leave you some in there? Okay, good.
He'll get the resin that we're talking about.
There you go. So the first location was opened in 2000 and what? So they started in 2003.
Yeah.
In 2011, they built the Alchemist Cannery, which was a 15-barrel brewery and canning line, and then that was in Waterbury. They opened the Stowe, Vermont location in 2016, which was a state-of-the-art facility designed to be as low impact as possible while providing us enough space to serve the community.
So here's what I know about that beer. It wasn't like their flagship beer. It was just every once in a while they made this beer. So it wasn't even on tap all the time. Wow. But when it was on tap, people were going to the brewery and basically sneaking it out. They weren't drinking it. They were like pouring it in other containers.
No.
Yes. They were doing like just taking it out of the brewery because they wanted other people to have it. So they were having a black market already.
I love it.
And sneaking it out, they would buy pints and just dump it in the thermos or the plastic bag or whatever. And that's what made them start the canning line. Was because, there's obviously a demand outside of the tap room.
Yep.
So they did that. But that's
that's
a
crazy.
beer that's so hard to get and so great that you're going to put it in your pocket, in your jeans and walk out and try to drink it later. Unbelievable.
I love that. That's fantastic. So I was looking on Untappd before we started. I had to look this up. 8% ABV, 100 IBUs.
That's a lot.
That's the highest we've ever had, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Does not taste like that.
Nope.
Not one bit.
Nope.
Dolan's shaking his head no. You tried a little bit out of the can, and you definitely don't. And you're not generally an IPA guy, are you, Dolan? That's not.
No, it's honestly, it's funny that you brought up the fairy nectar because that's what it reminds me of. Uh-huh. It's just kind of one of those citrusy IPAs that's really easy to drink.
Bobby and Scott would give you a hug for saying that. I think they would definitely hug you.
A
little tear.
Yeah, probably Scott's.
That is high praise. High praise.
Yeah. I guarantee you if we talked to those guys we would just said Heady Topper, they would both be like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
That's like the mountaintop.
Mm-hmm. It's super good. Have you ever been to Vermont?
No.
Me neither.
No.
So when my wife was getting into med school, we had 8 or 9 cities that we were looking at, trying to move to.
Okay.
We had just gotten married. And
how long ago was this?
This was in 2008.
Okay.
Montpelier, Vermont was one of the med schools that was doing infectious disease stuff that she does.
Okay.
So that was one of the places that we initially considered going, along with Indianapolis, Milwaukee, Kansas City, Omaha, and Montpelier got crossed off the list because every house I looked up had was oil heating. So because it's so cold, right? And that's an old, it's like an old, the state's been around 200 and something years.
Right.
So most of the heating was a big in your backyard thing of oil that you burned to keep warm. And that was the heating system. And I was like, if that breaks, what do I do?
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Right? How do you fix that?
And it was so far away from Nebraska and our family and friends and stuff. So it was on the initial list.
Yep.
Didn't make the final cut. We didn't go visit. I wish I would have just went to visit. Because we did a nice few tours of some different cities. And she'd go do her interviews, and I'd go do my beer interviews.
Were you as deep in beer culture back then as you are now?
No, not exactly. But I mean, there wasn't as many places, so it was way easier to know where you were going to go.
True.
Whereas if you show up in Milwaukee now or Kansas City, you're going to have a hard time in 2 days going to all these spots, right? Yep. I mean, even Nebraska or Omaha. If you showed up in Omaha in one day, you could only hit a couple. There's 8 or 9.
Going back to my Kansas City trip last year, we talked about on last week's episode. When I was in Kansas City for the Cubs-Royals game last summer, we were at Boulevard. We had a little bit of time before we had to go to the game, and so I texted Scott at Scott Strain. Said, okay, if you could only go to one brewery and you're downtown and you're at Boulevard, where would you go? And he said, besides Boulevard, and he named the place, and I can't remember the name of it. This place was a garage. It was tiny. He's like, they're making some good stuff, but they're super local or whatever. Only locals really know about this place.
Yeah.
And I went there, and it was pretty fantastic, but it was tiny.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have known otherwise.
Right.
Even our Uber driver's like, where do you want to go? I'm like, it's this little brewery or whatever. He's like, okay, I'll just take you where the map says it is.
Oh, wow.
And
I mean, that's the best way. When you go on a trip like that, that's what I did in Charlotte when we got to Charlotte. Usually what I'll try to do is go to some place like a brewery or a tap room, and I'm like, okay, when you're done working, where do you go?
Right.
Where do you want? I don't care about internet. I don't want to see the top 10 ranked.
Yep.
Where do you go get beer?
Yes.
And then if you go there, you will always be happy.
Always ask that question because you will find some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're not going to find this unless you're in Vermont.
Man,
that's a good beer.
All right, so let's go back to Untappd. So based on that, over 200,000 rankings on Untappd.
200,000? That's more than the Murphy's Irish Stout.
Absolutely. That's been around for a bajillion years. Yes.
Wow.
So 200,001 rankings on
Are
Irish.
you the one?
On what? Not me, not yet.
Oh, okay.
No. What do you think
the average is for this beer?
The average is for the granddaddy of IPAs, for the legend.
It's probably 4.57.
Oh my God, you're so close.
Am I?
4.59.
Ooh, that's close.
Oh my God.
That is close.
I almost would guess that you cheated, but I don't think you did.
No, I just know that I'm 5 capper on this one, so I'm guessing most people are.
Okay, here it is. And I listened to, because I listen to everything. I watch and listen to everything we do here.
You have to.
I do.
Quality control.
Absolutely. That's the only way I get better.
Yeah.
So I listened to the one where we went back and forth, and I clearly beat a dead horse about the 5.0 on the New Glarus.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to do it again.
Oh, snap.
How do I rank this higher than Double Dry Hop?
Well, it's a different beer.
It's the same beer.
No, it's not. This has 100 IBUs.
This is a double dry hop IPA, correct? I mean, isn't it?
I don't know if it's double. Well,
what's it say?
It depends.
American double. Okay, so it is slightly different.
It might not be double dry hop though. I mean, that's a current thing that people are doing with hazy IPAs. That's a new any IPA pretty much that's a hazy IPA. It's a double dry hop.
Okay.
They're just now putting it on the can packaging to make it stand out.
So what's an American double IPA? Twice as much hops?
Maybe not twice as much, but the alcohol content is going to be stronger than your average, which is like 6.5 for an IPA, and we're at 8, right?
True.
There's not you can't throw double the hops in because you're just going to get bitter. So it's going to have more hops than a standard. So that has 100. Is that what it is? 100?
100.
That's high.
That's super high.
That's more than 10 cross-strain beers.
I just don't.
It's a different beer, totally.
No.
I mean, and this is why it trickles down and spreads out to the hazy style we have now. Because there's no hazies that are made that have more than 40 IBUs.
Right.
No way.
I love my friends. I love my two friends. And I love what they're doing, and they are fantastic.
I mean, let's not forget that they won awards for that beer.
That's it. Yes.
World, countrywide, United
Silver
States.
medal, second only to one other beer in the country.
Yes.
For that beer that I have ranked higher than any other IPA that I've ever ranked ever before.
Yeah.
But this is the legend.
It is,
right?
But here's the other thing: you can't throw that into the mix. You just got to go on taste. You can't go with the story and the how hard it was to get this beer and all that stuff. You just have to go on how does it taste? Would I drink it again?
Are you sure? I
think so.
I don't know if there's rules like that.
Do you want to put emotions into it?
Kind of.
Well, I mean, I guess you can score it how you want. I'd be like, if I could drink this again, would I? Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
If I had to drive 100 miles to buy this, would I?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Right now.
That's a 5 for me.
Yep.
I mean, you could go past Kansas City almost. You could go to Des Moines.
And I think, okay, how would my friends react if they saw that I ranked this beer higher than Double Dry Hop?
See, you're in a unique spot though.
Absolutely.
Because you're very connected to these guys.
I am.
I'm just a customer. So they're not going to know that I went 5. But you know what?
Nobody knows that. Nobody knows the whole backstory there.
That's true.
Well, okay, so nobody listening knows the whole backstory.
True.
And I don't really necessarily want to tell it because then it would taint everybody else's opinion.
And you don't need to. Yeah, that's your story.
Right.
But I think they would not be sad if you were like, oh, you know what? Heady Topper is a pretty damn good beer.
If they saw it Fairy Nectar Double Dry Hop London is a 4.75 and then Heady Topper is a 5.
Yeah.
They would probably say yes.
You know why they'd say yes? Because first of all, they'd be like, "Oh, Rich likes some IBUs now. Your palate has changed,
absolutely,
even since then." And the other thing about Untappd, You can have the same beer and change your mind. You can change the ranking. You're not set in stone, man.
That's true.
So the next time you have, and every batch is different. Mm-hmm. It might not be as good, or it might be better. That's why you're free to, every time you check in, to change that rating. Because if it tasted the same, it'd be Budweiser, and you don't want that.
Nope.
That's what I always think. Like
True.
Does it line up? If I've ever checked it in before, does it line up with what I've said before?
Okay.
And if it's different, then I'll change that. Because I think that's fair.
Yeah,
and breweries go onto this Untapped and look at these things.
I love that. I think that's great.
I think so too, and that's the best way for them. I mean, other than like a Yelp review, this is the way for people that know what they're talking about, or don't, but people that have obviously bought their beer on purpose to give them some feedback
to get better,
for sure,
if they have to, or understand what they're doing right.
Yeah, exactly, and it can only be good. So that's why I change my rating if I feel like it's deserved. And I've been doing Untapped for almost 10 years.
True.
My palate has definitely changed and evolved.
So
I've had beers that are, 10 years apart, and they're going to be scored way differently.
Way different.
Yeah.
I guess I can't argue with a 5 on this.
Wow.
I know.
It's amazing.
It's
just so good.
It is good. It is everything I thought it would be and more.
And this is like one of the most hyped beers in America.
Of all time. Yeah. Like of IPAs.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like IPAs, I think you probably should just try it.
If you can.
Yeah. If you're close, just because.
If you're close and you can try this and you don't like it, send then the other 3 to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Put some saran wrap on top.
Yeah. Just say it's... I saw somebody yesterday, was talking about their... it was on one of the beer pages I'm on. And the UPS person said, like, man, you ship a lot of liquids out of here. And the guy's like, well, I make a lot of
lotion?
Barbecue sauce.
Oh.
He's like, oh, I make a lot of vinegar-based barbecue sauce, and I'm just shipping it all over.
Yes.
So send us some barbecue sauce quotes.
Some quotes.
Yeah, whatever you got to do, man. I mean, if you're in Vermont, in this area, try this beer.
Stop and try this beer.
Just this brewery. Like, I know that the Focal Banger is also supposed to be super good and legendary. I've never seen that in person either, so.
Yeah.
I mean, just go and... Plus, I think it's probably just be a fun... I feel like it's probably a fun spot.
Did you hear the doorbell there? Maybe that's some more Heady Topper for it.
There's a hot delivery coming to us.
Unfortunately, that's not true.
You know what I could... Sad to say, I feel his eyes burning through us, and it's not because we have the Heady Topper on the table.
No, it's because we're drinking beer at noon on a Tuesday.
And we didn't let him in.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Poor Jimmy John's driver.
That's all right. It's only raining.
Yeah.
Not snow anymore, thank goodness.
Yep. So I'm at my last drink of this, and I think it's fair to say that and we have multiple hospitals in Vermont. Montpelier is one of them that we do a lot of business at. If you are there and you have a chance, this is a trip you should make.
Yeah, and then let us know about it for sure.
Absolutely.
Get us some swag. I'll pay you back. I need a T-shirt.
Oh my gosh.
How awesome would it be to walk around with a Heady Topper T-shirt? People would be like bowing down.
When you talk about going to these beer festivals here in Omaha or wherever, like in the Midwest, right? And you wear the most obscure of the obscure.
Yeah.
If you rolled in with a Heady Topper shirt on, like the sea would part for you.
Yeah, probably. You know how, I don't know, growing up as a kid on the farm when I was down there, and even now today, when you're taking a 2-lane highway or, you're driving one way and the other car's driving one way.
Yep.
You do the old, like, what's up look. That's what you get at a beer fest when you're wearing something like that. You get, you're seen, right? Yes. You're, like, accepted, and you're elevated. Like, my go-to shirt that I wear when I go to some shows is my Three Floyds one, because that's a legendary Midwest brewery that's, hardcore metal, rock and roll, and everybody wants to go there, and nobody. It's similar to this in the fact that they don't ship their beer, you can't get it.
Yep.
But they're a lot bigger production than this. But that's my go-to. But yeah, if I had a Heady Topper shirt, ooh, that'd be amazing.
So we should throw something out there then. Like if you're in Vermont,
God,
this could be tough.
Yeah.
If you're in Vermont and you're at one of these hospitals and you happen to listen to this.
Yeah.
And you could, what size T-shirt you wearing?
Oh, let's go safe. Let's go XL, just in case for the laundry.
Yep. So 2 XL T-shirts equals.
What are we gonna do?
A dinner. Up to $100.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Wherever you choose.
Yeah.
On me.
Whoa.
There you go.
There it is.
But we need Heady Topper T-shirts.
And here's the thing. I don't even know if they make them, man.
I don't know if they make them
They're
either.
so small, they might not even have merchandise.
It says merch on here. It says swag. Stop by for a taster, beer to take home, or some swag.
Swag.
So 2 Heady Topper T-shirts sent to Atlas MedStaff.
Yeah.
11159 Mill Valley Road, Omaha, Nebraska 68154. Attention, Rich or Brian. Equals $100.
Yeah.
In Atlas bucks.
We'll do that. Then we'll wear the shirts and we'll take a picture and we'll say thank you and we'll put it on the internet.
Absolutely. Hashtag
sure.
A beer with Atlas.
Yep. Wow, that sounds amazing.
If this actually happened,
well, here's the thing. We got the beer.
That's true.
So that happened.
Logan.
Yeah, thanks to Logan.
Are you listening?
Well, I'm going to send it to him.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'll send it to him when we're done.
That'd be amazing.
Another thing about Logan is he makes some amazing barbecue.
Yes, he does.
Hoo-wee.
Yes, he
So
does.
drinking this with the barbecue, I still have my can at home, Rich. I'll save it for a little bit.
I am shocked. Look at now. Chris Madrigal is actually looking. He's trying to get in.
Yeah, he wants to come in here.
Give him the microphone. Give Chris Madrigal the microphone.
We're hopping him up
We'll
here.
find out. Chris, have you ever heard of Heady Topper?
Yes.
The beer Heady Topper?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what we're drinking right now.
Here, let me try some.
Well,
Oh, you know what? You're a little bit too late.
Wait a minute. Too late.
Hold on.
Oh, my gosh.
It's warm, probably mostly your spit, but still good. Yeah, Heady Topper's been around. It's been
For
around for a while.
for a long time, yes.
Where's it at again?
Vermont, Waterbury, Vermont.
Yeah.
Yep.
You ever been Fresh Pow, Vermont?
No.
Can you
Killington
snowboard?
and all that? No.
You can
Burlington,
snowboard in Vermont?
Yeah, that's like where Burton and everybody at Killington and Stowe and all that.
See, that's where the brewery's at.
I'm telling you, there's a correlation between good beer and people that ride POW. I'm just saying.
I think you're right. I think we need to send Chris to the brewery.
Oh, yes, indeed.
I think we do.
Yes, sir. Hey, sorry to crash. I just wanted to say hello.
I think
What's
we
that
should.
stuff there?
This is a little bit of Irish stout.
Let me check that out.
It might be a Guinness. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Might have left over.
That's not bad, but that's not a real
Yeah.
knockoff.
It's not
All right, I
representative.
gotta go.
That's no Heady Topper, that's
Well,
for sure.
it was nice to see you.
Yeah.
You guys.
Thanks for
Appreciate
coming
what
back,
you guys
Chris. I
do.
appreciate
I
you.
almost feel like we're all like, you guys got me whispering. You guys are so
yeah.
calming. It's like,
We're-
it's like sweaty balls. Like,
I'm
oh,
trying
yes.
to NPR it over here a little bit.
All right, I'm
Absolutely.
out.
All right. So we should send him to Vermont.
I think we should. As long as he don't break his leg.
He hasn't yet.
I mean, he's got some skills. I've seen some videos.
Look at him. He's so happy.
Look at him.
He's
First
so
day
happy.
back
I know.
in the office from his California
So
adventures.
excited. All right, so I finished
What'd you
it
think?
off.
Pretty good, huh?
It's a 5. It's 100%. It's a 5. It's the best IPA I've ever had, hands down.
Wow.
I'm Bobby Scott. I apologize,
We love you guys.
brothers.
Here's the thing, guys. We spend way more money with you than we do with Heady Topper.
100%. Yeah,
So if that means anything.
that's so true. That is so true. But I would, like you said, I drive 100 miles for one of these.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They said, "Hey, Rich, you have to go to Des Moines, and once you get to Des Moines, you get one of these.
Be like, all right, let's go right now.
Let's go right now."
Yeah.
Yep. Let's go.
The thing, I just gotta say this one more time. 100 IBUs.
100.
Which is crazy that you even would go like over 3.75. If this is the second episode of this show, you don't do that.
No. If this was just like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I couldn't even stomach like.
Yeah, you would have just been like, nah.
No.
You would have gave Dolan half a drink.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's changed so much.
Yeah. That's what's fun. Just always evolving and learning.
Absolutely. As we drink these different beers along the way on our little journey, hopefully that you're with us, and you try these different things too. I've heard from a number of recruiters whose either their nurse listens to this or their nurse's husbands listen to this, and they have tried different stuff because of it. I think it's super cool. That
You might
that's
not be able to
happening.
get the same exact thing that we're doing on an episode, but you're going to be able to find the style. I guarantee it.
Absolutely. Or you may run across something that like you never had before. Like there's little tiny brewery wherever in Georgia or wherever, and like, oh my gosh, like I haven't had many of these, but this is the best of that one that I've ever had. Let us know, because I love this. This is a lot of fun.
It's fun. It's discovery, and it's endless. There's so many new ones opening every day. It's just great. I love it. It's like the best hobby I have.
I'm about to go back to one of my favorite ones in Colorado here in about a week, and that's the thing I look forward to. I look forward to spending family time and doing hiking and just hanging out in the town, because it's just a fun little town. But there's a brewery there called Rock Cut.
Oh yeah,
and they make some pretty fantastic beer.
That brewed IPA you gave me was amazing. Oh man, that was really good.
They do some pretty amazing stuff, and I met the brewer for the first time last time I was there. Super down to earth dude.
Yeah,
and he's just like, man, I couldn't find the beer I wanted to drink, so I decided I was going to make it.
Yeah. Thank goodness for those types of folks.
That is kick-ass.
Because then we get to drink it.
Yes.
Hey, next when you're there, you need to shoot some footage.
I'll
or
get some video.
Do something. We need something a little inside the scenes stuff. Mm-hmm.
That hospital, Estes Park Medical Center, there, they use some travelers from time to time. It's a Medifist facility. They use some travelers. They use a couple LPNs per year and a couple. The problem is, housing is very, very difficult to find.
I'm sure Estes is a hot spot.
Very difficult. So maybe I'll bring a beer back and we'll try it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So, all right. So one last time, Heady Topper.
You melted his brain. 5.0 is going in the phone. He says. I'll check up. I'll make sure he does it.
I definitely will. So thank you from us to the Alchemist. That was a lot of fun. And to Logan.
Thanks, Logan, for thinking of us, man.
Absolutely. That's a lot of fun. Maybe next time you bring some, we'll have you on with us.
Yeah. Let's try a sip of sunshine, Logan. See what you got. Let's see what you got.
Sounds like a challenge.
It totally is.
Your move, Logan. We'll see you next week.